guys and girls, so we're going to go over something that we covered in the PB Performance seminar on the weekend. And one of the subjects that people found a little bit interesting and kind of, I think, helped out a lot of people, hopefully, was the segment where we went over the overhead position and how to actually achieve a good one if you're not necessarily built like some of your favorite lifters on the world stage. So in this little video clip you're going to see one of my friends, Lily, who's kind enough to help me demo everything and came down with the weekend to train with me, and then one of the guys there who thankfully jumped in, Lawrence. So if you see, the reason I picked these two to kind of demo together was because Lawrence has wildly different lever lengths to Lily. Lily is built more like some of your favorite lifters that you will see who are from kind of like China, Taipei, North Korea and different things like this, where they're really, really short in, let's say, the upper arm and in the thigh, and they're really long in the torso. So they end up actually being able to sit into a squat where it almost doesn't look like they've had to hip hinge or even inclinate their torso at all. They don't have to lean at all to get into their deep squat position. Whereas Lawrence was also not wearing weightlifting shoes, so it made this difference really, really obvious, which is really, really great, which is something, again, you can see, where when they both sink into squat, in order for him to achieve the same stability that Lily is, he has to inclinate his torso forwards, he has to pull his shoulder blades back even harder, he has to poke his head through, and he has to let his butt sink backwards. Now, these two differences should be very, very obvious, and some people are going to say that the way that Lawrence squats is wrong, and some people may even say that Lily needs to do some more things that Lawrence is doing, but most people are going to think that you should squat like Lily is in this video when she does her overhead squat. Now, the reason this is wrong is because if you've got limb lengths that just don't let you move like Lily, then trying to make your torso the same angle as Lily's is going to produce some problems, because it's going to be inefficient for your body type, it's going to be inefficient for the way that your body moves in the strongest and most natural way. So what we need to do is, instead of being like, we need to squat more like Lily, we need to squat more like the Chinese lifters, we need to squat more like Lu Xiaoshun, we need to squat more like Kyo Sung Shun. We need to make sure that we're actually seeing what they're doing to get such a great overhead squat position, and then try and tick those same boxes, use the same principles, even though it's going to look different. So the things they're doing, and if you look at these elite lifters and also the two lifters I use for the demo, you're going to see they do a few things. I'm going to start from the ground up, so you can kind of build that overhead squat position from the ground up. And this goes for back squatting and front squatting as well, whether you're high bar or low bar, whatever it is you're doing. So remember these principles because it's going to help. So the first thing is their weight balanced evenly across the middle of the foot? The easiest way to check this is look at the barbell overhead, look at it on your back, or look at it on the front of your shoulders. Is the bar, if you were to drop a straight plumb line, so hang a piece of string from the bar and drop it down, is it lined up over the middle of your foot? If so, the bar is in a good balanced position to make sure that if you need to save a lift, you're going to be able to tip forwards or backwards to do so. It also means that because you're in the middle of your foot, you're going to be able to recruit both the anterior chain, such as the quads and the abs and different things, and also the posterior chain of the hamstrings, glutes and low back and upper back effectively, because you're balanced over the whole of your body. The next thing is their back in a neutral or slightly arched position? And this is something that I learned from Zach Tellender, is that you want this torso to be one solid piece. You want it to be this kind of immovable object where you've eliminated most of the moving parts from it, so it can literally just move like this Lego man torso, where it can only tip, it can't break or bend like this. If so, that means the bar is going to be able to be supported through the whole posterior chain as far as the torso is concerned, which is going to be a lot better than just holding it in your arms. The next point is, are their shoulder blades pulled back so the scapula is stable? So what you'll see some of the time is people will have their shoulder blades forwards or backwards, or they'll kind of have them like this. We want the shoulder blades pulled together as best as possible. Now, this is sometimes going to mean that you have to externally rotate more if that's the way your body works. For some of us, it's going to mean we have to internally rotate the shoulder in order to get the scapula to snap together and be in a good stable position where they don't move. The next thing is, are their elbows locked out overhead, and is their wrist in a fairly strong position, which is again going to let the bar fall in that nice plumb line. If you're ticking these boxes, don't worry if you don't look like some of the lifters you watch on YouTube. Don't worry if you don't look exactly like how some people say that you should overhead squat. If you're ticking all those boxes we just mentioned, it means you're in a stable position, it means you're in a safe position, and it means you're snatching or cleaning or back squatting or front squatting in a way that's optimal for your body type, because you're keeping everything in line and you're ticking these boxes. That means that you're probably squatting fairly well and you're receiving the bar in a safe position. Because I hope you found that helpful, those kind of like little principles on how to achieve a good overhead position. If you have any questions on how to achieve any of those little tick boxes and those principles I mentioned, like maybe you can't get your shoulder blades back, maybe you're struggling to keep the bar in the middle of your foot, maybe you can't keep your back tight, please send me a message or comment on this video, because I guarantee if you're having the problem, someone else is as well, and I will make another video on how to address that.